Yes, the disastrous budget bill passed. It's now making its way to Donald Trump's desk to be signed into law. All of the MAGA Republicans who said they would never vote for this caved when they went into the White House and Donald Trump gave them some merchandise and took some photographs with them. I kid you not, that's what made them basically say, hey, I guess I'll support it now. I got my photograph in the White House with Donald Trump. I want to talk about that, but Trump was also, I would say, doing the unthinkable while the budget bill had passed in the House. But I think it is important as well that we talk about who Donald Trump was speaking to as the budget bill passed. Trump was speaking to Vladimir Putin, and Vladimir Putin has spoken to the Russian press about what went down on the call. And Putin said to Donald Trump, the special operation against Ukraine will continue until we achieve our goals. In other words, a complete genocide and wiping out Ukraine. And additionally, Putin pitched Donald Trump an idea of exchanging movies and doing a Russia America movie exchange to promote the close cultural ties between Russia and the United States. And what Russia is reporting is Donald Trump absolutely loved that idea. And I guess what point do we say that despite where the American people stand, the United States via the Trump regime is no longer allied with the G7 and NATO. They are allied with Putin and with China and with North Korea and with Belarus and with Hungary. That's where Trump has pushed the United States to. I'm going to talk more about the disastrous budget bill. I'm going to get into the specifics. But these two events to me are inextricably intertwined. They are very much related. So Trump and Putin get off the call. The budget bill's working its way through. Let's just look at side by side. Here's what's happening literally side by side. You have the MAGA Republicans thumbs up. Here, show the B-roll here, Salty and Jeremy. Thumbs up. I'm not going to play the music because they're dancing to the YMCA. And if I played the YMCA, it's copyrighted, so I can't play it on YouTube. But they're dancing to the YMCA, doing the weird thumbs up Trump dance. That's what the MAGA Republicans are doing. And boom, Trump and Putin get off the call. Putin says, I'm continuing the special operation to wipe out Ukraine. And here's what happens in the streets of Kyiv the moment the MAGA Republicans are dancing. Here, play this clip. Now, folks, here was the moment on the floor where the House Republicans cheered and celebrated 17 million Americans losing their health insurance, the billionaires and decamillionaires getting massive, massive tax cuts. Watch this moment right here. Let's play it.
Did vote yes.
The yeas are 218, the nays are 214. The motion is adopted.
Then MAGA Mike Johnson held a press conference where MAGA Mike Johnson said, you know what? We didn't even have to give any of these other MAGA Republicans any concessions at all. They just went along with it. You know, all the people who said, we can't support this because it's going to take 17 million Americans off of Medicaid. Our constituents are going to die from this murder bill. Well, they folded. Remember the so-called fiscal hawks? We could never support this because even while it takes away Medicaid from 17 million people and healthcare from 17 million people, it still will result in a $5 trillion addition to our debt. The debt ceiling has to be raised by $5 trillion. So we're not going to support this. Well, they ended up supporting this thing. Remember the New Yorkers who were like, we'll never support this thing. The Republican New Yorkers supported this thing. Watch what MAGA Mike Johnson says. Play this clip.
No, I mean, look, as I said, a lot of these members wanted to talk with the administration about how the new law would be administered by the Trump administration and the team. And I think they answered those questions. I don't think they exacted a lot of specific commitments or concessions or anything like that. It was just more an understanding how that would interact. As you know, this president has has been a bold leader. By last count, he's issued over maybe close to 160 executive orders so far. We're trying to codify as many of those as possible. So a lot of the discussions were about what executive orders will be forthcoming as it relates to the new legislation, and how can we be involved as a House to codify that and do all that in a coordinated fashion.
And then remember 2 months ago when Donald Trump said that he would veto any bill that included Medicaid cuts? If you don't remember, let's play it.
What happens if it comes to your desk, has the tax cuts, but also cuts to Medicaid? Would you veto that?
No, we're not doing that.
Would
no,
you
we're
veto
not,
that?
I would if they were cutting it, but they're not cutting it. They're looking at fraud, waste, and abuse. And nobody minds that if illegal immigrants are in the mix, if people that aren't supposed to be there, people that are non-citizens are in the mix. Nobody minds that. Waste, fraud, and abuse. But we're not cutting Medicaid, we're not cutting Medicare, and we're not cutting Social Security.
The bill literally says it will cut $900 billion in Medicaid. It says it in the bill. Now, the MAGA Republicans go, this is only going to be targeting those 29 to 35-year-olds, gamers. They have like a weird concept. These 29 to 35-year-olds who are living in their mother's basement, who are playing video games, they're taking away Medicaid from the rest of you. What are you talking about? Medicaid is paid to the it's reimbursement to the medical service providers and for medication. It's not money that gets handed out to these imaginary 25 to 35-year-old gamers living in their parents' basements. What are you talking about? What 29-year-old person is like, you know what I need? I need a micro dissection or a spinal fusion, or I'd like to take that medication because I'm going to get rich. But this is all they do. All they talk about, these MAGA Republicans, they just do their Trump shtick. Right here, as Michael Rothschild says, the evangelical Trump shtick is what MAGA Mike Johnson. There's so many wins. You're sick of winning? Are you tired of winning? You just took off 17 million freaking Americans from their health care. Play the clip.
Just a sample from the last 2 weeks. The headline today will be, the one big beautiful bill passes the Congress, okay? You got to hold your applause. There's too many wins. Are you tired of winning yet? No!
And then Mike Johnson and the MAGA Republicans, who literally stand on the side of the insurrectionists who attacked the Capitol Police, who attacked MPD, they're like, we're the party that stands for law enforcement. No, y'all are the parties who stand with the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers. Here, play this clip.
Because our border will remain fully and totally secure. The Republican Party stands for law and order, and this is the side that stands with law enforcement, the brave men and women who are on the front line. The idea that those who put their own lives on the line to protect us would be assaulted for doing their jobs is unconscionable. Law enforcement, I know you agree. I know, amen. Law enforcement.
I'll bring it back right here to Democratic Congressmember Brendan Boyle, who says this is the most cruel and despicable and fiscally irresponsible bill in American history. Let's play this clip.
Why? To help subsidize massive tax cuts that mostly go to the top 1%. Of course, all of those cuts, over $1.5 trillion worth, don't come close to paying for the more than $5 trillion worth of tax cuts. So who pays the remainder? Our national credit card. So here we are, actually voting not just for the biggest loss of health care in American history, but the biggest increase in our national debt in American history. I have no idea what in the world the crowd that was holding out got for holding out. Does anyone know? It is a complete mystery to me and to the American people. But one thing is clear. There is one group making out as a result of this bill, the billionaire class. With that, Mr. Speaker, I yield the remainder of my time.
And then you had MAGA Republican Jason Smith go, bunch of hogwash. It's a bunch of hogwash. That's my Jason Smith impression. Let's play it.
Jury is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I come from the show me state. And what we just heard can be defined in one word. A bunch of hogwash is what we've heard for 8 hours on that side of the building. I'll tell you, for the 8 hours, could we have order?
We'll suspend.
You have Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries. He set the record for the longest speech. They call it a magic minute speech. As the leader of the opposition party, you get to speak for an unlimited period of time. He started at like 4:45 and he went through the afternoon. Here's one of the important things that he said. Let's play it.
How can you prepare to celebrate legislation that will undermine the quality of life of everyday Americans? It's not just a hypothetical. It's not just hyperbole. It's not just hype. It will happen. Everyday Americans will be hurt by the one big ugly bill. We're here on the floor of the House of Representatives debating legislation in the middle of the night, with millions of Americans having gone to sleep anxious about what would happen. Here on the floor of the House of Representatives, understandably concerned that their voices have not been heard in this debate, that their pleas for compassion have been overlooked. Many of my colleagues, Mr. Speaker, on the other side of the aisle have chosen not to hold town hall meetings, not to hear from the voices of the people that you are privileged to represent. But we've embraced the American people. We haven't run from the American people. House Democrats will continue to run toward the American people and lift their voices up. Lift their voices up.
And again, because I think these things are interrelated, Trump giving Putin the green light, talking about doing movies together, a betrayal of our allies, then the betrayal of what's going on in the domestic frontier in the United States with what the MAGA Republicans and Trump just dismantling and ripping apart our country. Our dollar has the weakest start since 1973. Like, that's bad. So here's the Pentagon spokesperson basically saying, yeah, you know, our job isn't to take care of Ukraine. I mean, it's America first, which apparently means Russia first. Let's play it.
Make decisions. And so ultimately, our job here at the Department of Defense is to pursue the president's America First agenda and make sure that we achieve peace through strength throughout the world.
And here he is talking about America reviewing, you know, the weapons that we're going to be sending Ukraine. Newsflash, the United States is now stopping a lot of the weapons it sent to Ukraine. Didn't tell Ukraine, didn't tell our G7 allies, didn't tell our NATO allies. We just cut Ukraine off as Russia put 50,000 troops on right by Sumy, as another 30,000 troops are coming in from North Korea. Trump wants Putin to take over Ukraine. Don't you remember the deal, the minerals deal is Trump gets the minerals that Putin now has. They split it up. That's who Trump wants to do a deal with. Traitors. Play this clip.
Is being conducted to ensure U.S. military aid aligns with our defense priorities. And we will not be providing any updates to specific quantities or types of munitions being provided to Ukraine or the timelines associated with these transfers but the Secretary will continue to make recommendations to the President for his decision on military assistance to Ukraine going forward. I mean, we see this as a common sense.
That's what's happening. We'll keep you posted every step of the way. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million subscribers.
The truth is more important than ever. Check out our new Truth Over Lies collection at store.midastouch.com. All 100% USA Union made.